Dolphins lose again in Buffalo. They have not beat the Bills in the city of Buffalo since 2016. And this one was an absolute soul crusher, heartbreaker, whatever way you want to describe it, that's what it was. Because your offense played well enough to win, besides one mistake, and your defense played absolutely atrocious. The score is 30-27 after Tyler Bass drained a 61-yarder with 5 seconds to go. And I mean, there was no doubt. That ball went middle of the uprights, and it never wavered off the middle, and it would have been good from 67. The same kicker who missed an extra point earlier in the game drains a 61 yards. This team is truly cursed. Rock bottom, if you will. The fact that this team is 2-6 is an absolute travesty. And with the trade deadline 48 hours away on Tuesday, November 5th, in the afternoon, I believe 4 Eastern, 5 Eastern, whatever it is, the Dolphins should be very active before that, trading away some of their veterans on 1-year deals or even 2-year deals, because this team clearly isn't good enough. This team is too old. The team is too slow. They don't tackle well enough. They don't really do anything well enough to win football games. The offense is good at times, but the defense is being very much exposed by 2 offenses that are above average in Arizona and Buffalo over the past 2 weeks. But before we get into more about this game, who is the most to blame on this team? It's the defense. If you want to blame one person, I can't even. Anthony Weaver, I don't think called a good game by any means, but your inability to generate any pressure on Josh Allen outside of one play is the reason why you lost this game. You just can't get any pressure. You got 1 sack, and it ultimately didn't really lead to anything. Who's the most to blame on this team? It's just the defense as a whole. Let's look at the Bills' offense here first, Jack, because they are the ones that we should be talking about. The defense was just terrible. You got a 3-and-out on the first possession of the game. And then after that 3-and-out, guess what happened? They scored every play or every drive if it wasn't for Keon Coleman dropping a pass at the 3-yard line. Yes, you gave up a 3-and-out, field goal, and then interception. Those were how the first 3 goes. But if you take away the interception, which was just a Keon Coleman drop pass, like it would have been a walk-in touchdown for the Bills. Instead, it turns out to be a random-ass interception by Ramsey because it bounced off Coleman's shoulder. Like, outside of that lucky play, you gave up points on every single drive of the game after the first drive. And to make matters worse, in the second half, they scored a touchdown on every drive besides the 1 game-winning field goal because they only needed to kick a field goal to win the game. And Bass drains a 61-yarder. You were poor tackling. You're slow. Too much off coverage at times, and I get the game plan was clearly to make Josh Allen beat you with checking it down. And he did. And they were opportunistic in Buffalo, and the Dolphins were not opportunistic. This game, I wouldn't say was won by any stretch of the imagination, but this game was in your control. You had all of the momentum. You were driving down the field up 10-6 on the first drive of the third quarter. You crossed the 50-yard line on 2 plays after a good 7-yard run by Mostert, and then after a strong, about 17-yard swing pass to Raheem Mostert. And then on the third play of the drive, Raheem Mostert gets it again, and for the second time in 3 weeks, he fumbles on the opening drive of the third quarter and gives all the momentum to the opposition. He did it against the Indianapolis Colts when you led 10-3, fumbled early in the third quarter. What happened? The Colts tied the game up on 3 plays because they started with the ball at your 28-yard line, and you lost the game 16-10. What happened today? You were up 10-6. You were driving. Raheem Mostert fumbles. Buffalo gets the ball, scores a touchdown with absolute ease, and they take the lead 12-10, and then you really never recovered. You went toe-for-toe with them in the second half offensively after the Mostert fumble. You went field goal, touchdown to match their touchdown to even the game up at 27. But then you gave up the field goal at the end to lose by 3. Second straight week that the Dolphins offense scored 27 points, which if you score 27 points in the National Football League should be good enough to get you a win about 85% of the time. And that might be underselling it. But your defense in back-to-back weeks has been shredded down to the bone in the second half, not giving any resistance, and you lost back-to-back weeks on game-winning field goals. Last week was an expected 28, 30-yarder from Chatter Island as time expired. This one from 61. Either way, your defense can't get the job done when it matters the most. It's absolutely infuriating. If you don't want to be infuriated when you go to live events, Game Time is the best way to make sure that is the case. Game Time is the best ticketing app on the market. It has the lowest price guaranteed. It specializes in last-minute tickets. And when you think about Game Time, it's hard not to think about Game Time picks. A new feature that got rolled out over the last couple months that is just terrific. It filters out the fluff to show you the incredible deals on great seats so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. They also have panoramic views in the app so you see your vantage point and what your ticket will look like in the app before you buy. Doesn't matter if it's a concert, live show, comedy. It will show you your vantage point of the venue. They also have all-in pricing. This feature shows you the total price of your ticket up front. Rather than getting blindsided at checkout, Game Time truly is the best. And they have great features and specials for all the Dolphins fans at home. When you download the app and create an account, use code CHATSPORTS when you download the app and create an account to get $20 off your first purchase. That is code CHATSPORTS. First purchase, terms apply, but use that code when you download the app and create an account to get $20 off your first purchase. Shout out to Game Time. They are the best. What time is it? It's Game Time. We could talk about the offense a little bit here. It's hard not to just focus on how bad the defense was. And it's time to trade people, man. It is. You don't play till next Monday. There's a lot of veterans that might be called upon. Maybe Emmanuel Ogbah. Yeah, he's got a torn bicep, but maybe a team calls on him. They're always looking for edge rushers. Calais Campbell has garnered interest from opposing teams, according to some reports out there on The Athletic. There are teams that are going to be calling the Dolphins about people. And I think that the Dolphins should really consider trading some of those guys. As we're watching this, the Patriots just lost 2017. So the Dolphins at least aren't the last in the division. But regardless of the deadline, you saw Tua's numbers. He was efficient. He was good. The one thing that was intriguing to me was they got to the red zone 3 times today. Might be 4. I can't remember off the dome. But they scored a touchdown on 2 of them. Screen pass to Devon Achane. They scored, and obviously the game-tying one with a minute and a half to go that Tua did an excellent job scrambling out and finding Jalen Waddle. But the reason why I'm intrigued with what they did with Tua is that when they got to the red zone multiple times, they did not really let Tua throw it. And they did a lot of screen passes, a lot of runs, which a couple rushing touchdowns, sure, but I'm fascinated by why Tua is just not allowed to drop back and throw the football a lot in the red zone. It's a lot of screens, a lot of design plays that Tua doesn't have to make decisions, and a lot of runs. Something that I'm keeping my eye out for the rest of the season because there might be distrust potentially between Mike McDaniel and Tua. I don't know. It's just interesting play calling. But that's not the reason why we lost because when a quarterback throws 2 touchdowns, doesn't turn the ball over, only has 3 incompletions and throws for 250 plus, you should probably win that game 85% of the time. I use 85% again, but true. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. We will still be here no matter what. We'll have the best coverage on YouTube on the Miami Dolphins up until the trade deadline on Tuesday afternoon. It's an unfortunate loss, but we're still going to be here. Still going to be live for every single game as well. Final thoughts. I don't know, man. Season's over. I think we got to hold a fire sale. Fire sale might be strong. But I guess my final thoughts on this one is that there's just enough evidence and enough tape out there. 8 games in. This defense is soft. This team is soft. They commit too many dumb mental mistakes and inopportune times that cost you. It's frustrating. It's annoying. I'm sick of it. And I think this defense needs a complete overhaul. And the sad part is, Dolphins don't have a lot of cap room. So they're going to have to hit on draft picks, and they're going to have to hit on a lot of vet min signings. Do we trust Chris Greer to do that? I don't know, man. But either way, it is a disaster in Miami. It really is. And I don't like where this is going. But let me know. Trade deadline's 2 days away should the Dolphins hold a fire sale. Any veteran defender that is on a 2-year contract or below, so free agent after this year or free agent after next year, I would consider moving. So I'm typing my Ys. Let me know your thoughts down below.